Guys, welcome back to my channel, Just a Pinch with me, Nandi. So it's getting pretty cold now and I wanted to make something hearty but simple and filling at the same time. So I decided to make a creamy polenta with a sausage ragout. Polenta is basically a ground cornmeal that is sweeter than maize meal and looks something like this. And a ragout is a French style stew that uses fish or meat and vegetables. But before I begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and you're more than welcome to comment down below. First is the ragout. And here I have got an onion which I've been sauteing in olive oil. Now I'm going to add in a teaspoon of garlic. Mix that all up for about a minute, and then I am going to be adding tomato paste. I'm going to add it in now rather than at the end so that the tomatoey flavor can really develop. I mean, if you put it in at the end of your whole cooking process, it ends up giving it a metallic taste or a raw tomato flavor, which you really don't want. So adding it in now is going to give it that concentrated tomato flavor that you really want. So I'm going to make it go from red to about a dark brown color, not black, just so that it can caramelize. Okay, so now it's about an orangey ready color and I want that to be a deep red or brown. Okay, and so this is where I want it, where we've got those caramelized bits and that goodness of that tomato flavor. So what I'm going to do now is add in some diced tomatoes along with their juices. Mix that all up. I'm also going to let this simmer down a lot so that we can concentrate that tomatoey goodness flavor, because we are really using simple ingredients. We want to be able to lock in the flavor as much as we can and maximize every single ingredient in here. If you don't have tomatoes, I have got a trick up my sleeve. Yesterday I was making a one-pot Cajun chicken pasta dish and I wanted to use a can of tomatoes. I didn't have, so what I did was I took a bunch of tomatoes, took off the top, quartered them, put them in a pan with some olive oil, salt and pepper with the skin on. I let that all cook down. I was using a gas stove, so I let that go under heat as well and charred it just a bit, and it gave it such a really nice flavor. So if you don't have that, you can do this, or you can just roast your tomatoes instead of grating them and putting them in there. It adds so much flavor to any dish. So whilst the tomatoes reduce, I have heated up a pan here and I'm going to add in vos, a grabouw vos from Woolworths that I have taken the skin off so that it breaks apart very easily. Just going to do it like so. What you could have also done is add the sausage in after the garlic in that pot, then reduce the tomatoes afterwards. Don't really have to do this, but I'm just making more dishes really. I'm going to break it apart just to get it crispy, then I'll add it into the main pot. So far it looks like this. This is almost getting there. What you can do is also use mince instead of the sausage. I just wanted to use the sausage because it already comes full of flavor. I mean, you don't buy it with the intention of seasoning. It's already seasoned for you and it tastes really good. So we're just skipping a step and it's already so nice. Okay, the meat has taken on a bit of color now, so I'm satisfied with where we are at. The tomatoes have also reduced. As you can see, there isn't that much liquid. It's just all good and thick. So what I am going to do now is add in some chicken stock. This down for about a minute so that the flavors can settle. Then I'll add in the vos in there and we'll carry on. I need to add in all of this with its oils because all of that is flavor. Go. Mix it all up. What I'm going to do now is add in some salt to taste, as well as some pepper. Last but not least, some rosemary just to give it that punch. I couldn't get fresh rosemary, so dried. thing about using dried is that you have to use in less because the flavor is much more concentrated in there. So I have tasted this. It tastes so good for such simple ingredients. But I am going to add about a teaspoon of brown sugar on top of that just to balance the acidity of the tomatoes. Okay, but that's done. I'm going to let that cook for about another 5 minutes. But I'm going to carry on with my polenta. The ragu has cooled down a bit and it looks like this. It looks so yummy. A simple hearty fare. Okay, so our creamy friend polenta, a great substitute for mash and pasta. So in here I've got about 6 cups of stock. I made it by taking 6 cups of boiling water, mixing it with 3 Knorr stock cubes, some thyme, cut up a carrot, an onion and bay leaf, mixed it all up and brought it to a slight simmer for about 10 minutes. Or you can just go and buy stock, or you can make your own stock at home. This for me is just the cheats method to making stock at home and not at school. This is the same stock that I use for the ragu as well. It's going to make everything taste super good. Or you can just use water if you don't want, or milk. But I didn't want to use milk for this recipe because the ragu is already super creamy and rich. So I didn't want the flavors to not balance. I wanted everything to have a good balance. This is boiling and I'm going to add in the 2 cups of polenta so that we make sure that we don't get any lumps. Basically like making buck, to think about it. Okay, so it's getting thicker. So the polenta is done. I'll show you just in a second how it's going to look. But how you know that it's ready is by the taste. It should be creamy and smooth, but not mushy or one note. So now let's talk about polenta. Polenta is good. Polenta tastes good, but it tastes like the flavor that it puts on. Right now where it's at, it's okay. It's okay. But on this channel, we don't do okay. We don't do mediocre. We do fantastic. We do flavor. We do bold. So how I'm going to make it flavorsome is by adding in these 2 secret ingredients. We're going to add in a ton of butter. Well, not a ton, but we're going to put in a lot of butter and some cheese to really kick the flavor to that next level. Okay, so this is the polenta. It shouldn't be pourable, but it shouldn't be thick enough to scoop. It should just flow like thick lava, like that. The polenta is done now, and it tastes like the bomb.com. Another thing about polenta is that when it cools down, it sets and solidifies. So one thing that I do with leftover polenta is slice it up and fry it, and it tastes like the best chips. But that's it. Polenta with a ragu. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay guys, we are done. Polenta and ragu. I'm going to enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy it too because I'm excited. Yeah.